Hi, welcome once again to CD Training and Massage. My name's Claire and today I'm going to look at symptom reduction taping for a strain in the calf muscle. Today we're going to look at the medial aspect of the calf, at just the point here where the Achilles joins the meaty part of the gastrocnemius. So this section is predominantly tendon and here we have the meaty muscular aspect. So the first piece of tape that we're going to apply is fibre tape, and that's going to run the whole length of the muscle with only about 10% of stretch on that. So I'm going to place that on. I pre-cut it and I have measured it for the length. So we're going to place that. His leg is on full strength, so we only need 10% stretch on the tape with no stretch at all on the anchors. Now the majority of the pain is here. So the 10% will go for the majority of the tape except for the anchors at either end. And it's going the whole length of the muscle where the pain is being experienced. Now the cross fibre tape will, as clearly says, it will go across. That is a decompression tape. Remember, we're rounding the edges because we want to make this tape last as long as we can. So to prevent it from snagging on your clothes or your bed sheets, we want to make sure that those ends are rounded. It will last probably up to 5 to 7 days if you are careful with it and don't spend too much time in the water. So for this, now we want to lift the layers of tissue underneath so that the blood flow can be encouraged to the area. And in order to do that, we need to put on somewhere between 20 and 80% stretch over the area that is painful. So in order to do that, I'm tearing it through the middle. I'm going to stretch it right the way back and then reduce that a little bit to give that percentage. Now the area that is painful is just there, and remember the anchors don't have any stretch. So the main area that is causing the problem is just about there. If you use the backing of your tape to rub it, that heat generated will increase the stickiness of it. What I would recommend is make sure that you don't go in the water within 20 minutes of putting it on to make sure that it has adhered properly to your leg. Now, remember, it's a full stretch on with the leg, 10% fibre tape going the length of the muscle, and somewhere between 20 and 80%, depending on the severity of the damage and the amount of decompression that you want, across the injured area. Now a lot of you will find that you'll keep damaging this area, you'll find that it can cramp up quite easily, and obviously in some cases will go into involuntary spasm. Now a lot of people ask, what is the cause of this? Well, unfortunately nobody knows the exact cause of muscle cramping and spasms. There are a few theories that people have put into play, and firstly, overuse. If your legs are tired, the muscles are tired, the communication of the nervous system to the muscle is interrupted, and as a result it can go into involuntary spasm, and that spasm or cramping can damage the muscle. Most of the time it's not an issue. Athletes often suffer from this because of dehydration, and that dehydration will have given them an electrolyte imbalance. Now we need minerals such as sodium, potassium and calcium in the muscle in order to effect a good contraction and relaxation of the muscle. So it's the movement of those minerals that help to promote good muscle action. If we have got an imbalance, either too high a level due to the fact that our body is now dehydrated, or too low a level because we flushed it through, you need to address your diet and your hydration. A lot of people think drinking water is enough, but if you're not getting a lot of salts in your diet, then drinking water is not a good idea. You need to make sure that there is some minerals within that to make sure that the leg doesn't fatigue and the communication is as it should be. Now I tend to drink before every training session. I will have warm water, warm because it is at above body temperature and therefore it is more easily absorbed into the system. I will have some lemon in there and possibly some salt and some honey. I'll do that before any long training sessions to make sure that my balance, I'm preloading my body to ensure that I don't suffer from any muscle cramps. The other problem that you can have is obviously if there is a muscle strain, and clearly in this instance there has been a muscle strain in this section, and what's happened is the muscle fibres have all bunched up and you can't get them to relax. So they're around a muscle problem, an issue, and they are in effect protecting that damaged area. But unfortunately, if the spasm is too great and the muscle will not relax, the blood flow is reduced to it. So this is where our decompression tape comes into it. By lifting that, it'll alleviate that pressure and allow the blood to flow through. There are other causes that could be for this, and unfortunately they're not as easily rectifiable. There could be possible nerve compression if you have a back issue. So if these persist, you really need to think about seeking help from a doctor. In the first instance, however, you want to try using your taping to alleviate the symptoms. It's not going to cure the problem straight away. You then need to stretch the muscle to allow the realignment of the fibres and that blood flow. Use a roller, foam roller, and focusing on breathing to release that tension. Once you are pain-free, you need to think about doing a rehabilitation program. If you need any help with this, obviously you can give me a shout, not a problem. If you like what you've seen today and you've got any comments or any questions that you'd like to ask me, please write them in the comments box below, and don't forget to subscribe, like it and share it with your friends. Thanks very much now. Bye-bye.